Welcome to AI True Crime, where we delve into the annals of history to uncover the stories that shaped our world. In today's episode, we journey back to the late 19th century, a time of industrial expansion, economic disparity, and fervent labor movements. Today, we'll be unraveling the dramatic events surrounding the Haymarket riots, a pivotal moment that echoes the struggles of the American labor movement. Before we plunge into the chaos of May 4, 1886, let's set the stage. Act 1: Unrest in the Industrial Age. As the gears of the Industrial Revolution turned, cities transformed, and factories sprouted, the working class found themselves grappling with challenging conditions. Long work hours, unsafe environments, and meager wages were the norm, prompting discontent among the labor force. In response to these harsh realities, a wave of labor activism swept across the nation. Workers began to unite, demanding reasonable working conditions, fair wages, and, notably, an 8-hour workday. This burgeoning labor movement would soon collide with powerful industrialists, setting the stage for a tumultuous confrontation. Among the voices advocating for workers' rights were individuals whose names resonate with the struggle for justice. Albert Parsons, a charismatic labor leader and editor, alongside August Spies, an impassioned orator, became pivotal figures in the fight against oppressive labor conditions. Their stories, along with others, intertwine with the narrative of the Haymarket riots. Join me as we embark on a journey through time, exploring the circumstances that led to that fateful day in Haymarket Square and the enduring impact it left on the American labor movement. This is AI True Crime, and you're listening to Echoes of Haymarket. Act 2: The Haymarket Square Rally. As the sun set on the evening of May 4, 1886, Haymarket Square in Chicago was a scene of anticipation. What began as a peaceful rally advocating for an 8-hour workday would soon spiral into one of the most notorious incidents in American labor history. Earlier that day, thousands of workers and activists gathered at Haymarket Square, drawn together by the shared dream of fair working conditions. The atmosphere was charged with a sense of unity as speakers like Albert Parsons and August Spies addressed the crowd. Their words resonated, echoing the sentiments of the growing labor movement. Despite the peaceful nature of the assembly, the police presence swelled as the rally progressed. Tension simmered between the labor demonstrators and law enforcement, emblematic of the broader societal divisions. The authorities viewed the gathering with suspicion, interpreting the call for workers' rights as a challenge to the established order. As the speeches continued, the air became thick with tension. A palpable unease gripped the square, and the clash between the advocates for workers' rights and the representatives of authority seemed imminent. The fragile peace teetered on the edge as the night unfolded. Act 3: The Mysterious Bomb Explosion. As the labor activists and their supporters listened to impassioned speeches advocating for workers' rights, an unseen threat lurked in the shadows. The bomb, a sinister catalyst, had the power to transform a peaceful rally into a scene of horror. The explosion reverberated through the square, drowning out the voices of the speakers and the cheers of the crowd. Panic seized the assembly, and chaos erupted as people scrambled to make sense of the sudden violence. The once serene square became a theater of fear. The blast claimed lives indiscriminately. Police officers who had been maintaining a watchful eye over the rally fell alongside civilians who had gathered to peacefully express their demands. In the blink of an eye, families were shattered, and futures were irrevocably altered. In the aftermath of the explosion, the wounded lay sprawled across the ground, their moans and cries blending with the chaos. The once unblemished square was now marked by the pain and suffering of those who had come seeking change, but found only tragedy. Haymarket Square, where ideals clashed and aspirations were met with violence, became a symbol of a nation in flux. The wounded were tended to amid the debris, and the square bore witness to the collective trauma of a community torn apart by ideological conflict. In the wake of the blast, questions lingered. Who was responsible for the bomb? Was it a premeditated act or an impulsive response to escalating tensions? The investigation that followed would attempt to untangle the web of motives and allegiances that led to that tragic moment. Act 4: Aftermath and Investigations, a city in turmoil. In the aftermath of the Haymarket Square rally, Chicago found itself in a state of shock and turmoil. The explosion had not only claimed lives, but also set in motion a sequence of events that would reverberate through the corridors of justice and public opinion. A swift retribution, fueled by public outcry and a desire to restore order, the authorities wasted no time. Raids were conducted, and prominent labor leaders, including Albert Parsons and August Spies, were swiftly apprehended. The city was on edge, and the search for culpability intensified. B. The dark shadow over the labor movement. The events of that night cast a foreboding shadow over the broader labor movement. What had begun as a call for workers' rights now faced a severe setback. The narrative shifted, and the peaceful intentions of the rally were overshadowed by the violence that unfolded. See Trials and Tribulations. The ensuing trials became a focal point for the nation, attracting widespread attention. Accusations flew, and the courtroom became an arena where the future of the labor movement hung in the balance. The prosecution argued that the speakers at Haymarket had incited violence, while the defense contended that they were being persecuted for their ideals rather than their actions. D. Polarizing public opinion. The trials became a battleground not just in the legal sense, but also in the court of public opinion. Lines were drawn, and the nation found itself divided over the question of culpability. The events of Haymarket became a symbol, representing either the struggle for workers' rights or a perceived threat to social order. Join us as we navigate the complexities of the aftermath. We delve into the intricacies of the trials and the societal repercussions that unfolded in the wake of that spring night. Join us in Act 2, A Night Unraveled, as we explore the far-reaching consequences of the Haymarket Square rally in the heart of Chicago. Thanks for listening to AI True Crime. This entire podcast was written and performed by a variety of free online AI services. You can do whatever you want with it. There is no copyright, there is no creator.